We've done so much to our store. We've added products, payments, shipping, taxes, and so much more. So let's test everything now that it's put together. You should never launch an e-commerce store without testing the whole thing, especially the checkout. In Chrome, let's open an incognito window. On a Mac, you can do that with Command-Shift-N. An incognito window will let us see the site like a brand new visitor who isn't logged in. So I'll type in my URL, load the site, then we're going to take a look around, find a product, add it to our cart, and hopefully check out. So let's scroll down a little bit. I can see we have featured products. I can see some new products, bundles, supplements, all sorts of things. Let's click into one of these products. I can see nice images. Let's click into our multivitamin. I can see sale prices. I can see a gallery of images and a long description below. Let's add this to the cart. Let's calculate shipping. Remember, we're completely logged out, so this site has no idea where we're shipping to or from. There we go. Here's our rates from USPS. And I also see our flat rates right here, local delivery and rush delivery. But I don't see free shipping. That's because we haven't hit the unlockable total. Let's update our cart. And now I see free shipping. So this seems to be working perfectly. Looks like we're taxing products. You'd want to double check that this is the right amount. I'll type in an address. Subscribe to our newsletter. Although I'd probably change this to be opt-in rather than opt-out. I'll select free shipping. And I'll select credit card, and let's try another test here. Again, with any valid expiration date and CVC code. And let's click place order. And the order is received. From the customer's point of view, it looks like everything is working great. And I'd be very comfortable launching this site right now. Let me go back to my regular browser. Of course, sometimes it is nice to have a robot do these types of jobs for us so that we don't make a human mistake. There's a great service called Robot Ninja that automatically tests your website and even tests the checkout to make sure that your store is always up and running. The pricing is very affordable and they even have a free plan, so it's definitely worth checking out. There was one thing I noticed about my products. I don't have any reviews yet. So I'd make a note to really encourage people to review, and I'd make that a priority for the next few weeks. And there's even a few plugins out there that can help you do this automatically. They might be able to send out an email reminder prompting everyone who did purchase to leave a review. As you're checking out, you'll probably find a few problem areas, like I did, with reviews, with email opt-in, and a few other things. Make a note of these, and unless they're critical, go ahead and set them up after you launch your store. Getting reviews is important, but not as important as launching your store. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up after I launch. We've made sure everything works from the customer's point of view. Now we need to see how the store owner will interact with the back end of this website. If we click into WooCommerce and then orders, we can see a list of all the orders. Now there should only be a couple in here right now, but once your store gets up and running, you'll actually have a ton of orders and you'll want some way to filter them. You can filter by order status up top, so I can see all of the processing orders, which are orders that still need to be shipped. Or I can filter by completed orders, which are already done, but sometimes you still need to reference them. So let's take a look at these processing orders and see how you can ship them. We can click on this little eyeball, and that'll give us a very quick overview of the order. You might be able to ship it with just this information, but sometimes it's really helpful to click all the way into the order and see all of the details. Here we can see the billing address, shipping address, customer information, and order notes. Over here on the right, we can see the order notes, which are actually really helpful. The existing purple notes are about payment. If you wanted to look up the order in Stripe, you can use this transaction ID. Private notes are for your internal needs. They're helpful if you have a team of people. If the customer calls in, you could leave a note letting other teammates know that this customer called in and they're really anxious to get their order. If you're waiting for a shipment to come in today and you're going to ship it tomorrow, you can also let the customer know that. So I can have a note to customer and say, your order will come in tomorrow and be shipped out first thing in the morning. And click add. Now let's say we pack up this order and drop it off at the post office. We can go over here and change the order status to completed and then click update, which I'm going to go ahead and do. Or to show you a different way, I'll go back to orders. Or we can also bulk process orders and change them to completed. So let's say we shipped these 3 orders today. I could select all of them and change them to completed. For the most part, managing orders means shipping the packages and marking them as complete. Up next, we'll look into managing refunds. Managing orders, printing shipping labels, and marking orders as complete is pretty straightforward. But sometimes you'll have a customer who wants a refund. And depending on the payment gateways you've set up, this can either be a snap or a pretty big pain. Let's take a look at an order that's marked complete. I'll go into 195 here. And if we scroll down beneath the list of items, there is a small refund button. Let's go ahead and click that. And now we can choose which items we want to refund. What's a bit confusing about the current iteration is that the quantity, which was just a number originally, has now changed to an input field. So we can choose how many of these we want to refund. So let's say someone wants to return 5 out of the 6 multivitamins. We can press tab a few times, and WooCommerce will automatically calculate that we're going to refund them $54.16. And we can say, customer only wanted 1. I found someone else who did find this issue a little bit confusing, and I've added a GIF and started explaining it. So hopefully, in the near future, WooCommerce has made this a little bit more intuitive, because sometimes you just want to type the refund amount right here and not fiddle with the exact quantity up here. It's worth pointing out that WooCommerce doesn't automatically recalculate shipping costs or discounts from coupons. Technically, with just 5 products, we drop below the free shipping threshold, and we could ask the customer to pay for shipping or deduct the cost of shipping from their refund. But I think most store owners are pretty generous with refunds, so I'd probably just refund them and not worry about technically being ineligible for that free shipping. Either way, once you've selected the items you want to refund, you can either manually or automatically refund the payment. If your gateway supports automatic refunds, you will want to click this button. This saves you a ton of busy work. Some older gateways don't support this, and you'll have to refund in WooCommerce, log into your gateway, find the transaction, and manually refund the payment. That is what this means. Since we use Stripe, it's just as simple as a button. Once you refund something, you'll see a new updated total, and the refund is logged underneath the existing items. The order will also be marked as refunded if all of the items, including shipping and tax, are refunded. One thing I want to mention is I recommended PayPal Standard earlier in this course. I do really like this option, but if you do a lot of refunds, you have to do a lot of extra work. So if you start getting refunds, you'll either want to configure the API option in PayPal Standard, or you want to switch to this gateway, which we also recommended, which is available for free and has much better refund support. At the time of this recording, WooCommerce Admin is almost complete. This is a feature plugin that really improves the experience of the admin, which includes a lot of enhancements in the reports and analytics section. This feature should automatically be included in WooCommerce 3.8 in just a couple of months. So I've already installed the beta plugin, which we've been using throughout this course. This will give you a good idea of what to expect. You can also manually download and install it yourself if you want to see the new features. Let's go to our site. And if you've seen any of the WooCommerce settings so far, this little banner up here is from the WooCommerce admin experience. There's also a new analytics section. If you click into it and you have any older data in your store, you'll need to click a button to update. Otherwise, there should be some really nicely formatted metrics and graphs. Once you start getting in orders, it's helpful to look at these reports. You can figure out your top products, when people order, what sort of categories they're ordering from, what coupons they're using, and even the taxes that you need to save. By default, it's going to show us revenue. Up here, we can choose a time frame, and one of the best features is the new Compare Against feature. People ask me if X sales a month is good, and the best answer I can give people is that you need to compare it to the previous period. So always compare it to the previous year or the previous period. For example, this month compared to last month. And if the numbers are going in the right direction, then you're doing great. If we take a look, there is also a stock report, and the stock report can be super helpful. If you have physical goods, you can take a look at this every single week and make new orders to replenish your stock. You can see right here, I desperately need more multivitamin. This tax report is also very helpful. We can see how much we should save for all of our taxes. I'm a huge fan for creating a separate savings account for the taxes that you collect. That way, you don't ever accidentally spend the money that you collected for taxes. You could go in here once a month, or however often you want, and add the money you see right here and save it for taxes. Going back to products, we can see sales by individual product. And we can also select them and then compare different products. We can do the same thing for categories, which I find particularly useful. If you have hundreds or thousands of products, it's nice to know which is the individual bestseller, but it's more helpful to know which types of products really attract people's attention. The new WooCommerce admin adds a lot of really great reports to WooCommerce, which you can spend hours exploring. There are other really good reporting services out there. Metric, built by someone who used to work on the WooCommerce team, has stellar reports. I know store owners who don't use the built-in reports anymore, and they just use Metric. If you love looking at reports and you want even more, then you'll want to take a look into Metric. Something most retailers will want to explore is a discount strategy for loyal customers, and WooCommerce has coupon functionality built in. We can go to WooCommerce, Coupons, and then we can create our first coupon. Let's do that. I'll click Create Your First Coupon. And we can type in the coupon code. Let's call this 10 off. And then we can add a description. This is for our own internal purposes, so write whatever makes sense to you. Then we can choose the type of discount we want. So this could be a $10 discount, or it can be a 10% discount. So a 10% discount sounds pretty good for me. And we could, if we want, publish this as is right now. But before we do, I do want to look into usage restrictions. Right here is where we make sure we can still make money while people use our coupons. So we can enforce people spend at least $10, or people spend no more than $1,000. We can also make sure that you can only use this coupon by itself with no other coupons. This might be a good idea for a new customer coupon. We could exclude sale items, or we could only make this work with certain products, or exclude certain products. For right now, I'm pretty good with it as is. Let's go on to usage limits. I want to say usage limit per user one time. So this way, it really only does work for new customers. When we're happy with this, we can just click Publish. And the coupon is ready to go. Now this coupon doesn't appear anywhere. We would have to share it via social media, via a newsletter, or some other means. It's up to you how you share and promote these things. One strategy I love is sharing this coupon with your customers in an email the first time they order from you, and sharing this code with them for their friends. So it's a nice way to encourage a customer to share your products with their friends. If you really want to get into building loyal customers, take a look into WooCommerce points and rewards. There are all sorts of ways to provide discounts for sharing your products, ordering a lot of products, and a ton of other features. But for a brand new store, see what you can do with coupons first.